Are you a leader who feels that the contribution that you're giving to your organization is being ignored, that you are not getting your due, that you should have been promoted but somebody else has been promoted? It happens to a lot of executives, those leaders who do not speak up for themselves. Whose responsibility is it to speak for yourself? It is really sad. It is really sad. And I see that those leaders who are the most dedicated, the most committed, who are contributing a lot and contributing silently, they are the ones who feel that they are ignored, and they're the ones who feel that others are getting promotions where they deserved it. Why does this happen? Not because you are not a contributor, you are a contributor, but you are a silent contributor. You need to speak up, you need to tell others, you need to tell your organization about your contribution, what you've done, and how it has helped, how it has changed something within the organization. Because if you remain silent, people don't notice it. It doesn't exist. You need to be speaking about your success. Watch this video till the end because I'm going to share with you examples, and I'm also going to share with you a simple framework which you can use to get noticed and to get the rise in your career that you deserve. I'll share with you the examples of two people. One was Sheila. Now, Sheila was a VP when I was coaching her, and she was contributing tremendously in placing those people who were being trained in IT by that company. And despite market conditions, despite difficulties, she found ways to put them in other industries and got tremendous success for the organization. And I asked her, do you speak about your contributions? She says, my work should speak for yourself. Why should I speak about it? Why should I tell others? My boss knows all that I do. Do you feel like that? If you do, the likelihood is that your contributions are also being ignored. On the other hand, look at another person. I'll call him Saurav. Now, Saurav was somebody who also felt that he needed promotion and he needed to be noticed, but he was being ignored. And I asked him, does he speak about his contribution? He said the bosses know it, that even the top boss knows it. Now, he was a person who was helping not only his team, he was helping across teams. Whenever people needed an expert help in IT related issues when they were setting up the entire system, they would come to Saurav for his help, and Saurav would help. And a lot of the time, these people who wanted Saurav's help, they would name the top boss, saying, the top boss has said that you can help in this. And Saurav would readily help. And he expected that wherever he was helping, the top boss knew. But when I asked him to check with the top boss, because there was opportunity for him to speak in the near future, the boss was going to come and he was going to have an interaction. So I asked him to ask the top boss, ask the MD about the various projects that he has contributed in, where people have asked Saurav that the top boss, the MD, has asked him to help in this project, and does the MD know about it? And then when Saurav asked, he found out that MD had some idea, but he did not know exactly which projects he had helped and how those verticals, those units had been transformed or had got certain new clients or had been able to fix certain issues because of Saurav's help. Then Saurav realized, and after that, I asked him to frequently talk to the top boss, tell, to this team I have contributed in this way, and these are the results that they have got. With this, Saurav got the spotlight, the attention that he needed. He wanted to be promoted. He immediately, after a few months, he got a top international project, which gave him a lot of visibility. So this was the result. Two people, one decided to remain humble and in the shadows. The other chose to be in the limelight. What do you choose? See, what happens is the top bosses, the senior people, have a lot on their minds already. You, as a mid or senior level manager, have 100 things to work on. How much work do you think your senior has, your top boss has? What makes you think that at the key point when they have to promote you, when that decision has to be taken about promoting you, they will remember all the important work that you did. Just because you wrote that in the performance appraisal, do you think it will be there in their mind? If you have not been talking about it, now not being telling every time that you did that this is what I've did and this is the result we've got out of it, do you think it will remain in their mind? What will happen if you just tell at the end of the year? Likelihood is that they might not actually believe it. You have to build trust in yourself through building trust in your work and continuously talking about it. You have performance reviews frequently, you have opportunities, and I will share with you in this video a simple framework how you should be sharing, how you should be telling the relevant people about the work that you've done, about the contribution that you've made, so that you get the attention that you deserve. If you are not doing this, let me tell you, you are not respecting your work enough. You are not respecting yourself enough. And remember, people treat you the way you treat yourself. Respect yourself. If you're not talking about your contribution, you're avoiding responsibility. Why am I saying that? Because the higher you go, the more chances, the more opportunity you have of contributing. Once you start mentioning about your contribution, you get more work. That is true. The better work gets you even more work. But the thing is, as you go higher, you will have a bigger team, you will have bigger responsibility, you can contribute more, you can get better results for the company. So, do you want growth? If you want growth, talk about the achievements that you're making. If you're not sharing your achievements, your contributions, then you're not aware how decisions are made in people's mind. When people see something happening, when they hear, it is at that time that they take the decision that, okay, this person is a competent person, this person is good at execution, this person is good at team building, this person has good technical capabilities, and this person can resolve this problem. So keep talking about it so that you get the right attention at the right time. Here's a story I want to share with you about my own experience. I took over a unit of a big company that was dwindling and was about to fail. It was a tech-based unit, and everything depended upon the success of the transactions and the number of the transactions that were going through our system. Everything depended on the number and success of transactions that we were able to handle. When I took over, the entire system was failing, and the top management had taken a decision that they would close and sell it. And every meeting, I would get a meeting that your product is like that, your product is useless, your product isn't good. However, we kept on, I and my team kept working on improving the system, removing the issues, clearing things so that the system worked smooth. And at the same time, we kept reaching out to new clients. Then a new top boss joined, my boss's boss. He was new and he wanted to understand how the various units under him were working. So one day he called me and asked me, Salia, how are you doing? How's your unit performing? And I started telling him that I had taken over that unit 1 year back. I started telling him last year when I took over, these were the number of transactions, these were the number of failures, these were the number of successes, this was our margin, this is how we are performing now. And he was listening and he was kind of impressed. And he said, Salia, please write a note and send it. And I asked, Sir, should I send it to you? And he said, No. Then I said, should I send it to the DMD? Then he said, no, send it to the MD. I wrote to the MD a note of year on year performance, how it had improved. And when that note went to the MD, all the way up from my boss to the boss's boss, and then the DMD and the MD, and came all the way back, the MD had written very positive comments on the performance. And do you know, with that one note, the entire perception about my unit changed. And the senior bosses who had been criticizing my unit continuously and had decided to sell it off, they changed the perception. The unit survived, and it survived till date and is a very successful unit now. So, what I'm trying to tell you, talk about what you're doing. It helps you, it helps your organization. It's not about bragging. And here is the framework. The framework is 3 C's: contribution, communication, consistency. Contribution, communication, consistency. So, Contribution comes first. You need to be contributing. In fact, find opportunities where you can meaningfully contribute. If you're not contributing, then your communication is empty. Then it is bragging. When you have actually done something, you need to highlight, and highlighting that, in fact, gets more business for your company, makes it more successful. It creates more success for you. So, number one is contribution. Number two is communicate, talk about it at various opportunities. Of course, there are performance reviews, you have several. There is the format where you regularly share. There may be a weekly, monthly, or quarterly review of your work. So you need to be talking about that. In fact, keep a diary for yourself, writing down whatever you are doing, not only what you are doing, also write what is the outcome of it. What did change? So, for example, I would have said the number of transactions have gone up 10 times from the last year till now. The number of failures have gone down by 60%. And this is the profit that we are making, whereas last year we were making this. So, always talk about the result instead of talking about the activities. Talk about the impact that you have brought. It is impact that creates a dent in the mind that people remember. Talk about examples, share real life stories, how you were able to do things despite challenges, and be sure to talk about the impact. Contribution, communication. Make it a regular thing. So that is where consistency comes in. Talk about your achievements on a regular basis. You meet your boss, you meet other people, keep telling them about the projects that you're working on. Weekly, you may decide to start sending a mail on weekly, monthly, and quarterly basis, telling about the work that you are doing and the impact that it is bringing. And do it in a way so as to get a feedback from your senior, not only talking about how it is helping the organization, but asking their feedback onto how you can do better. Ask them, do you think this is good enough? Tell it, I would be happy to know from you what could have been better. How can I contribute more? What would be even better for me? Or give me more opportunities to contribute. This is something that I want to do. And they will not only see your performance, they will also see you as a person who wants to do more and more.